Okay, let's talk about that incredible fall-off-the-bone chicken. You know the kind I mean? The stuff you get at a great restaurant and wonder how they do it. Well, I'm going to show you exactly how to nail that perfect texture right in your own kitchen, every single time.
We've all been there, right? You follow the recipe, you put in the time, and what you end up with is, well, it's just okay. It's kind of dry, a little tough, and it's definitely not the juicy, amazing chicken you were dreaming of. Well, good news. That all ends today.
And that's the promise here. We're not just talking about slightly better chicken. We're talking about chicken so tender, a fork is literally all you'll need. And this isn't some complicated chef's secret. It's about making one simple, fundamental change to how you cook.
We are going to dial in on one single technique. This is the absolute key, the thing that unlocks that perfect, tender texture. It's so simple, it's reliable, and you know what? It just works.
And there it is. That's the secret. No magic powder, no expensive equipment. It's all about patience. See, when you cook chicken at a low temperature for a longer time, you give it a chance to break down all those tough connective tissues. That's the collagen. It transforms that stuff into melt-in-your-mouth gelatin, and it does it all while keeping the meat unbelievably moist.
But a perfect result doesn't just start with turning on the oven. Nope, it starts with the right prep. We have to build our foundation for flavor before we even think about cooking.
First things first, your cut of chicken. Now, you can really use any cut, but if you want a secret weapon for this method, go for dark meat. Thighs, drumsticks, that's where it's at. And there's a simple reason why. Dark meat has more fat and more of that connective tissue we were just talking about. If you cook it with high heat, that tissue stays tough, but with our low and slow method, it all just melts down into this rich, flavorful gelatin, giving you a level of juiciness that leaner white meat just can't compete with.
Okay, here's a pro tip that makes a world of difference. Don't just sprinkle your seasonings on top of the skin. Gently lift that skin up and rub your spice blend, salt, pepper, paprika, whatever you love, right onto the meat itself. This makes sure every single bite is packed with flavor, not just the skin on the outside.
All right, now for a step that's technically optional, but I think of it as an insurance policy for juicy chicken: brining. It sounds kind of fancy, but it's so easy. You just soak the chicken in a simple saltwater solution for a couple of hours in the fridge, give it a quick rinse, pat it really, really dry, and now that meat is primed to hold on to all its moisture during that long, slow cook.
Okay, with our chicken all prepped, it is time for the main event. And the beautiful thing about this low and slow technique is how flexible it is. You don't need any special gear. You just have to choose the method that works best for you.
You've basically got three great paths to tenderness. For that classic whole roasted chicken, the oven, set to a low 300 to 325 degrees, is your go-to. If you're working with pieces like thighs or legs, you could try braising, just letting them simmer gently in a flavorful liquid on the stove. And of course, for maximum convenience, you just can't beat the slow cooker. Set it to low in the morning and you come home to perfection. See? Each method gets you to the exact same delicious result.
So you've been patient. Your kitchen smells absolutely incredible, but how do you know for sure when the magic has happened? For this, you're going to have to trust your senses a little more than a timer.
I want you to forget the thermometer for just a second and grab a fork. This is what we call the fork test. Just gently press the meat near the bone and give it a little nudge. If it shreds and pulls away super easily with almost no resistance, you're there. If it's still kind of clinging on for dear life, just give it a little more time. Patience is everything here.
Your chicken is now perfectly tender. We are so close, but we're not quite done. We want it all, right? Tender meat and that beautiful golden crispy skin. These next two quick steps are absolutely non-negotiable for a perfect finish. First up, we've got to crisp that skin. After that long, slow cook, the skin is going to be pretty soft. To fix that, pop it under your oven's broiler for about 5 to 7 minutes. Now you have to watch this like a hawk. I'm serious, it happens fast. But that quick blast of intense heat is what gives you that gorgeous golden brown crispy skin we all crave. And finally, the hardest part of this whole process, waiting. You absolutely must let that chicken rest for about 10 minutes before you even think about serving it. This lets all those amazing juices that have been moving around settle back into the meat. If you cut into it right away, all that moisture just pours out onto the plate. This step right here guarantees a juicy bite every single time. So if you remember nothing else from this, remember these 3 rules. First, low and slow is the law. Avoid high heat at all costs. Second, dark meat is your best friend here. It's way more forgiving and flavorful for this method. And third,
always, always let that chicken rest.
So there you have it. You now have the fundamental technique for making any tough cut of meat incredibly tender. And this doesn't just apply to chicken. So the real question isn't whether you can do it, it's what delicious thing are you going to make next? Happy cooking!